Today I'm going to show you guys how to use a perspective grid when designing a logo in Adobe Illustrator. You can move to the time card in the corner if you want to skip the intro. So follow along and learn how to use a perspective grid to design this style of logo in Adobe Illustrator. What is up people, welcome back to Satori Graphics, home of graphic design content right here on YouTube. So I hope everyone's doing well today and that you're ready to design a logo in Adobe Illustrator using the perspective grid. I left a poll on my YouTube channel not long ago asking what you guys prefer to see on this channel. Now a lot of you said you like all of my content, which is really great, but most of you said that you really like logo design tutorials. So today I have a logo design tutorial for you all to follow along and to recreate yourself. If you're new to my channel here at Satori Graphics, go ahead and give me a subscribe if you do like my content. I post 3 to 4 videos per week on graphic design related topics. That can be tutorials, graphic design tips on the business side of things, and much more. Also, if you do enjoy this video, give me a like and share it on social media because it really does help out my channel. But anyway, let's jump right into this tutorial on how to design a logo using the perspective grid in Adobe Illustrator. In the new document in Adobe Illustrator, we need to first create our perspective grid for the logo design tutorial. You can show the grid here, but you need to locate the perspective grid tool to actually edit it. It may take a little bit of getting used to, but for this logo design we want to have a kind of angle view looking down on the logo using the perspective grid. You can extend the length of the grid here, but you also will want to increase the amount of squares, like so. When you have your perspective grid ready, press P to locate the pen tool, and then check the stroke option only in the color palette. Make a path around like so, in a kind of reversed L shape, and then connect the path at the very end. You can press V to select off of the pen tool path. Then again with the pen tool, draw another shape to the other side of the perspective grid. You want to connect the corner like so that it gives a good impression of a 3D shape and a good perspective. The circle icon lets you know when you can close the path properly. Now flick the strokes of the shapes over to fills, but make sure to have 2 different colours, but it doesn't matter what the colours actually are at this stage in the logo design tutorial. Then hold down the Alt Option key and click and drag to duplicate the 2 shapes. With them both still selected, reflect the shapes like so, and then position them perfectly next to the original shapes. As you can see, the logo is starting to take shape. Finally, use the pen tool to finish up the last shape along the top, and then add a 3rd colour to that shape. I used 2 grid squares for the apex at the very top. You can then hide the perspective grid as you don't actually need to use it anymore in this logo design tutorial. Now we need to adjust the colours so that the shadow and the highlights is depicted properly. You can use the eyedropper tool to help with this, and the shortcut is I on your keyboard. So once you have your shading highlight sections correct, it's a good idea to add the final colours. I'm going to use shades of blue for my design, and you can hold down Shift to select multiple objects at once. You now need to hold down Shift to select 3 shapes, and then using the Alt Option key, duplicate them over to the right and perfectly align them in place. Then also duplicate the top section, and if you have them perfectly in place, the logo design symbol is now finished on this tutorial on using the perspective grid. Now to add some finishing touches. Take the pen tool and create a shape like so. You can use the direct selection tool to edit the position of the anchor points. Flick the stroke over to a fill and then send the shape to the back. You can then add a gradient to the shape. You want the gradient to be at 90 degrees, and you want the lighter side to have a 0% opacity, and the dark side should be a kind of dark grey. Duplicate this shape over and then reflect it nicely on the other side of the logo design. So lastly, you need to draw in a shape in the middle to finish up the shadow section of your logo. And the absolute final stage here is to add some logo type to complement the logo design in today's perspective grid tutorial. I chose to use logo type with a dark grey colour as I feel it looks more professional than black. The font I'm using is actually a font I made myself called Satori Sans, and there's a link in the description below if you want to download it for yourself. And there you have it. This is today's tutorial on how to design a logo with the perspective grid in Illustrator. So there is today's tutorial on how to design a logo using the perspective grid in Adobe Illustrator. Let me know what you guys thought of this video in the comment section below, and also be sure to drop a like and a comment on your way out. Subscribe to Satori Graphics for weekly graphic design content just like today's video. And if you really enjoyed it, share this video on social media because it does help out the channel. Have an awesome weekend everyone, and until next time, design your future today. Peace.